This next guy's excuses are more common.
Did you bring the what?
Yes.
His screen name is Producer Paul 2001. He's Paul Constantinescu, a guitar salesman, and he claims he's at the wrong address.
You know, my computer kind of flipped out, and I thought she said she was 24 because I was talking to a couple different people.
You have wine, you have condoms, and you have a camera.
Yeah.
Producer Paul 2001 leaves, and you know what happens next.
The transit's fine.
At 12:30 p.m., Detective Carmine Sasso sits down with Paul Constantinescu to talk to him about Sitara Stratton.
I asked Constantinescu if he had seen Sitara. He mentioned that he had last seen her about 6 weeks ago. I showed him the pictures of her, how she looked currently, and I asked him point blank, is she dead? And that really kind of rattled his cage. And he started to jibber-jabber about, well, I'll check around the neighborhood. And I said, you do that, because I'm not going away. And 2 days later, she shows up at Cedars-Sinai Hospital with a heroin overdose.
But the news is not all good. Sitara is in tenuous condition and has visible injuries.
When I first saw Sitara at the hospital, she looked pretty bad. She appeared to be really worn out. She appeared to have what looked like cigarette burns on her arms, some scarring.
Do you remember how you got to the hospital?
I got an initial statement from her, and when I asked her at the end of the interview, is there anything else you want me to do? She told me to make sure I call her mom.
You call my mom.
Finally, after months of silence, Sitara is able to explain what happened on the day she last spoke with her mother.
After I hung up the phone with my mom, he was there to pick me up, and we drove off. I really didn't think I had another option. I had nowhere else to go. My mom was still back in Tennessee. My dad was in San Francisco. And he shot me up right there in the car, and it was like, I want more, and that was that. And then it was like I couldn't get away from him.
Sitara says repeated heroin use made it impossible for her to leave.
In the very beginning, I did not think I was going to be in danger. I mean, I thought this guy was a friend of mine. I mean, I didn't have a place to stay, and he let me stay with him. I didn't realize what was happening with the drugs. You become so dependent that you can't leave because you get so sick without it. And the drugs just become the bars of your prison, basically.
It was a prison that Sitara says kept her with Paul for 4.5 months.
I couldn't work, I couldn't leave, I couldn't do anything. I was with him pretty much 24/7. I was trapped, and it's just a nightmare.
Days after Sitara's reappearance, police jail Paul Constantinescu for a probation violation after finding heroin at his residence. Meantime, a criminal investigation into the specifics of Sitara's accusations against him is launched.
In the statement that she gave me at the hospital, she said that he would provide her with heroin and keep her in a weakened condition to where she really wasn't able to do much of anything. And when she was in that condition, he would forcibly have sex with her. So investigators from our sex crimes unit with Operations West Bureau picked up the investigation.
According to investigators, Paul Constantinescu maintains that he never provided Sitara with heroin, never held her against her will, and never abused her. He asserts that he only ever tried to help her.
Innocent in trouble.